evening and welcome to tonight's episode of the Director Suite. This is episode 3.5. It's our half-weekly show, and tonight I'm joined with guest star Glenn.
Hey John, how are you this evening?
Good, doing well. And obviously myself, John, the host. Tonight's just going to be myself and Glenn. There will be no Dom tonight, but he'll be coming next episode. So tonight's episode, we just want to basically go over and recap some of the work that Madman's releasing in current time and future releases for August. We're going to discuss a few things covering from their anime streaming service, animelab.com, all the way to their August releases, where they're going to be releasing some interesting TV shows, movies, and anything just general pop culture. So it's pretty exciting. I guess the first thing we'll start with is Anime Lab. So Anime Lab is basically a streaming service that Madman has put up, and it appears to be pretty much, if I was to sum it up, Crunchyroll in Australia for Australians. It's got all the anime you'd want on that website for free, and you can stream it whenever you want. Glenn, any comments on this?
Yeah, look, this looks really great, and as a casual anime viewer like myself, this is something that I'd really get on board with. And if I was dedicated to certain shows and just watching those shows, or if I just wanted the single episode or a catch-up episode that I missed on television or something like that. Looking at it now, there's a little bit there in the library, but as it builds up, I think it's going to be an amazing library and, a great thing for Australia and for anime viewers in general.
Yeah, no, I agree, because the content, what I'm seeing here is actually quality. Some of the shows that they're getting are direct from Japan. You've got Attack on Titan, they've got 25 episodes, and that's a really popular show. And I've seen Attack on Titan, it's actually an amazing show. So if you want to watch it now, just go straight to animelab.com and you can stream it. They've also got a few new titles like Tokyo Ghoul, and which they picked up directly from Japan. It's pretty impressive. Obviously we're in an era now where we've got Hulu and obviously Netflix in the US. So to make it easy for us Australians, this is a great option, and I just think the quality of it is very impressive. How do you find the navigation of the site? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty easy. You've got the picture or cover of the anime title, and then you just click on that and it lists the episodes, and you just choose the episode you want. That's fine.
And the cool thing is, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I guess you're not also limited to your computer screen as well. If you wanted to stream that from your computer to whatever streaming device you've got on your television as well, that would be perfect for people that just want to kick back, relax, and watch some anime at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point, because this works on any web browser. You can access it, even you mentioned, for example, on a tablet device, you could access it, potentially. And it works, because it appears to be working on my tablet device just fine. I have no problems with it. The cool thing about it is that you can actually sign up, or if you want, you can just sign in with Facebook, so you don't actually need to create an account. So if you head straight over, I think it's a great idea, and it's in beta phase right now, so test it out, give some feedback back to Madman. I just think it's a really cool little thing that they've done, and I'm highly impressed by it. So I'm just excited to see what they upload next, because the shows that they're getting are, like I said, they're direct from Japan. And you've got Full Metal Alchemist on there as well. That is obviously a classic series, Brotherhood, which you can watch and stream immediately right now. Cool. Anything else you have to say on Anime Lab? Or
No, just looking forward to more content with that and that building up. It's still a great thing as it stands right now, but yeah.
It is. And it's local and it's free. That's what we need. And it's companies like Madman that are pushing the boundaries with this sort of entertainment that shows that it's possible for any other distribution company to pick up. So leading the flag right now digitally, which is very impressive. Cool. So moving on now, I think we'll focus on some new titles that Madman are releasing. And I guess one of the new ones, I think this was exciting for you, Glenn, is actually the Alfred Hitchcock set that they're releasing from Madman. So this is Alfred Hitchcock Directs. So obviously there was a TV series where Alfred Hitchcock presents, but these are going to be the ones where he directed himself. So they're very significant and pretty important episodes. Glenn, you're quite a fan of the show. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, look, I used to sit down and I'm not old enough to remember it in its 60s. I'm not quite that old, but in the 80s, yeah, they did show this every so often on television. Um, for the person like myself has a limited attention span and doesn't want to sit down through 5 or 6 seasons of Alfred Hitchcock Presents and just wants to see the episodes that Alfred Hitchcock directed, this is the ideal box set. One thing to note with this box set, you've seen the movie Hitchcock, John?
Yes, yeah, with Anthony Hopkins.
Yes. He took a lot of his production crew from Alfred Hitchcock Presents to direct the movie Psycho. So that was a little tidbit of information that you can compare it to. If you like Psycho, I'm pretty sure that you'll like this box set as well. I especially like the cover of this as well. It had a bit of
just
a
about
comic,
to mention that.
yeah, a bit of a comic book feel to it. So yeah, this set is right up my alley. So I'll definitely be getting this one.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it now, and obviously it's like pop art. You've got the little dots, like comic book style dots all through them. It's a beautiful cover, and it really does just show off everything that the set's going to be. It's pretty much I would say the best of the series, because I've seen quite a few episodes throughout my younger days on television, and the ones that were directed by Hitchcock were obviously the better ones. And like you said, they took a lot of the production crew, the quality crew, and put them into making Psycho, because that was an independent production. So I mean, it's just an all round cool set. Like, it's gonna be quite exciting, and that comes out July 23rd, so not long. Actually, that's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, of course.
Yeah.
Australia time. And it does come with a feature, 50-minute color episode directed by Alfred Hitchcock called Incident at a Corner. So that's kind of a little bonus thing that they've chucked on there as an extra. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, so that's pretty impressed by that set overall.
Yeah.
Cool. And it's 450 minutes running time, so it's pretty big set. Cool. All right, moving on. Is there anything else to discuss on that, or we can jump on? No.
Looking forward to it. That's it. Yeah.
It's
excited about that one.
Yeah, no. Same with myself, because obviously I've seen a majority of Hitchcock films. Just on that, with Hitchcock in general, the only ones I appear to be missing are obviously some of the TV episodes and also some of his early British work. But I've seen a majority of his American work. Yourself, Glenn, what's your favourite sort of Hitchcock, I guess?
I like what is traditional Hitchcock, really?
Exactly, because some would argue his classic work over in Britain.
Yeah, I mean, I love
39 Steps, and yeah,
I love Psycho. I love Vertigo. I do have a couple of the Criterion Collection Blu-rays, such as 39 Steps as well.
Yeah, same here.
That's 39 Steps is probably the best of his non-Hollywood films.
Yep.
But yeah.
Because make note, Madman, they also released a lot of Hitchcock films on the Director's Suite label. So obviously that label we're named after. They released 39 Steps. It was pretty much all the classic Hitchcock films that he made in Britain at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So also check them out as well. And obviously they have a Blu-ray release in the US, UK. So plenty of Hitchcock for everyone to go around, I guess.
Good stuff.
Cool. All right. And also one quick thing. Madman has actually released Alfred Hitchcock Presents in separate volumes. But like we said, this is going to be like a best of. So cool. All right, moving along. All right, so coming up, already it's been released, is a film called Enemy. So Enemy has been described as a film directed by David Lynch, written by David Cronenberg. Because apparently it's a very interesting sort of sci-fi, psychological, try and get a review done of that. But it's by the director of Prisoners, and that was also sort of a psychological sort of thriller. And it's also got I can't pronounce his name, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I don't know how. I know his sister Maggie, but
uh,
Skyfall.
Glenful, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully, as soon as we get that, we can do a review on it. But I've heard nothing but good things, like nothing but praise about this film.
Yeah, I watched the trailer of it earlier tonight, and man, this movie looks good. It looks like the kind of movie, kind of thriller that would just suck you right in, and you wonder what's going to happen next. So, yeah, definitely we'll get this.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to has seen it, just hype it up, and that's the cool thing about Madman is that they've released it on Blu-ray and DVD, so both formats, which is great because obviously it is a film that some would want to see in HD because it was released theatrically. But it has got a few features. It has got a few interviews with the director and cast, so that recently just got released on July 9th. So by all means, pick that movie up, and we'll get a review up on the site soon. So it shouldn't be too long.
Excellent.
Cool. Alrighty, so moving along. It looks like August is going to be a pretty big month for Madman because it appears that they're going to be releasing a bunch of box sets and Blu-rays and anime, pretty much anything that suits your pop culture needs. So I guess one of the big ones coming up is The Raid 2. Now, The Raid 2 is a film, it's a martial arts type film. Have you ever seen The Raid, Glenn, or heard it?
Yeah, I've seen the original, the first Raid. Very violent, bloody
Yeah.
kind of film. Not really in my taste of kind of film, but I'm always interested to see what films are popular in the country that they're made in, and this is one of them. So I thought I'd check it out. It was okay.
Yeah, exactly. I like the Raid 1. The Raid 2 was released here theatrically by Madman, and the Raid 2 is, it's actually, funny enough, it's an Indonesian film, and it's pretty much just people going, it's what you want, it's just violent action. If you're into that sort of genre, it's them going from room to room, just beating the hell out of each other, excessively violent, over the top, and just overall fun. So that's getting a local Blu-ray release from Madman in August, and that's one title to look out for. If you're a fan, if you're a Gorehound fan, or you just like martial arts movie, that's perfect combination. So, like myself, I do like my horror, so I do like my gore, and Glenn, you may like your action to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the first one, there was some great action scenes in that. So nothing CGI. Sorry,
A long day.
Yeah, all done by
Yeah.
stuntmen, and in the old days, that's how it was done. So
exactly, before Hollywood got destroyed by CGI, but what can you do? Cool. So the Raid 2 that's coming out very soon from Blu-ray from Madman. Cool. So we have a few other cool little features and tidbits coming up this month. Let's go through them. So the next title we have here on the list is God's Pocket. So this is the last film by Philip Seymour Hoffman. So this is pretty significant. I haven't seen this film. I've heard quite a bit of hype, so I was essentially waiting to get the Madman release because I believe it did get a limited theatrical release. I just think Hoffman's a great actor, and all his productions from even from Boogie Nights to anything that he's done in his career, he's always been incredible in his role. So I am looking forward to it. Sounds pretty exciting. Do you have any fondness of Hoffman?
yeah. What else was he in? He's been in so many things. It's hard to pin it down to one movie. He's been.
Unexpected movies as well, just like performances you wouldn't expect.
Yeah. But this movie looks good. I watched the trailer. Looks like a bit of a small town with a secret movie. I could be wrong there. That's kind of the impression I got.
That's what I got as well.
Yeah. But no, I'll definitely check out God's Pocket.
That's coming from Madman on DVD, and the cool thing about it is it will come out the same day as The Raid, so you'll get your, double. You'll get your extremely bloody martial artness goodness, and you'll also get your drama God's Pocket in one day. So there you go. That's what you get in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And so August 6th, they're coming out. Cool. So, moving along. So, Glenn, I'm actually going to leave this bit to you. We actually have a bunch of classic sci-fi TV shows coming out from
Yep.
Madman, and these are pretty exciting. I have heard of them, but I don't know too much about them because obviously these are cult classic '60s sci-fi shows.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on? Obviously, you can go through them. We've got Land of the Giants, The Time Tunnel, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Okay, yep. I'll start from the first one, Land of the Giants. It's basically about. I'll set the premise of the show: a spaceship that lands on a planet. You don't know if it's Earth, but the people in the spaceship are 12 times smaller than the people on the planet. Now, the great thing about this show is it's Hollywood special effects in its infancy. You've got people with picking up giant pencils. You've got so in some cases these giant hands made out of plaster move along to reach for life-size people and things like that. You've got giant spiders. It's a very psychedelic show. It was made by, what was his name?
It looks like it.
Irwin Allen. That was
Irwin Allen. Yeah.
He also made Lost in Space as well. So
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
another one. You've heard of Lost in Space?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, very 60s psychedelic type show. When I saw the cover on the Mad Men website, I immediately remembered the title screen that I saw when I was a kid. It's got a bunch of extras as well. One is the unaired pilot episode. There's a couple of interviews, a presentation reel, and some special effects shots for someone like myself that wonders when I was a kid, oh, how did they do that kind of thing? It'd be interesting to go back and see how they did that now, because I'll probably just think, oh, okay, fair enough. That was just a giant rubber hand or something like that. The next show is The Time Tunnel. I've got a real fondness of this show. It also starred Lee Merriweather, that played Catwoman in the Batman '66 movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a little autograph by her somewhere tucked away. I wasn't there for its original run again in the 60s, but in the 80s, I had a real fondness of this show with my folks introducing it to me. The premise were two men were military experiments, and they walked down this really huge tunnel, and they would time leap into different locations. So I remember one episode they landed on the Titanic. In another episode, they landed in the attack of Pearl Harbor, and I think one of the characters briefly met himself as a kid. The great thing about this release is there's a never-be-seen before pilot episode.
Yeah, I saw that.
On television, it was shown in black and white because colour television wasn't quite there yet, but we'll get to see the colour episode. There's home movie footage from Irwin Allen, a couple of cast interviews, a blooper reel, which is always fun to watch, and just a promotional reel as well. So Alan Irwin also wrote a movie or directed a movie, I'm not too sure, the Poseidon Adventure. Do you remember that movie, John?
Yeah, that was the 1970s sort of, it was almost a drama film where the people are trapped in the ship that capsizes. And
that's right, yeah. And they have to go that basically upside down and walk through all these strange...
A ship upside down, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah. They call him the master of disaster because he does all these disaster type films. So similarly to that, the third release is Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I don't know too much about this one. It was a bit of a trippy 1960s movie, but TV series. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea ran for 5 seasons, so Mad Men are going to release the first season on DVD. The design of that sub looks really good. It looks like a stingray or something like that. So, yeah, they're the 3 releases that really interested me. So there you have it. Land of the Giants, Time Tunnel, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Thanks, Glenn. I was just going to mention, with the artwork, it really does sell the sort of thing, essentially time period that it is. It's got that sort of, so as you mentioned, psychedelic 60s feel to it. Land of the Giants has this beautiful yellow text.
Mm.
Obviously, you've also got sort of psychedelic hypnosis title front cover of the time tunnel, which kind of looks like an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So the artwork it's custom art. That's what I love about it. And the thing about Madman is, I mean, who else would put out this much effort into a cult 60s TV series? I mean, most companies.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, I just really can't think of anyone. Most companies would just put them on a bare bone disc, just try and rush it out, or even put it on demand like a DVD-R. But these are proper sets that Madman have actually put into. So
Either one of these three sets would make a great Father's Day present. Hint, hint. So.
if anyone's listening, yeah, I think that targeting that market of yourself, Glenn, that probably grew up with these shows. Obviously, I was a bit after that. I did watch reruns of some of these shows on TV1 and stations like that on Foxtel, but obviously I never actually got into them that much. But I think this is a great way for people like myself who may have missed these shows to catch up on and go through it. So I really look forward to it. Actually, the Time Tunnel is the one that interests me the most because I've heard the most positive things about it, despite being such a short lifespan.
Yeah, it was a great show. Who knows? Someone will probably remake it as a movie one day. We'll see. If not already.
Yeah, $300 million movie with Michael Bay directing, with lots of shaky camera in the tunnel.
Yeah,
the tunnel of death. Oh my god. Yeah, can't wait till that happens. Cool. So that's covered the little basically bit of cult sci-fi 60s goodness I just want to get off our chest. So moving on, next thing I want to mention is just the upcoming Tati box set from Madman. Now, Jacques Tati is this beautiful box set they're going to be releasing on Blu-ray, which will have all the films of Tati remastered, and these look like the new 4K remasters that have been released around the world. Has its own beautiful artwork. We mentioned this briefly on the show last week, but I just want to mention it again. That's coming out in August as well, so that has pretty much all of Tati's famous work in one box set. So, like yourself, Glenn, you may not be too familiar with Tati. This would be a great chance for you to go through his entire filmography from start to finish. Because they also released a previous Tati box set, but these are the new remasters. And like I said earlier, I think Tati's it's extremely funny. His films are very similar to that of highly influenced Mr. Bean. It's along that silent comedy sort of genre. So if you're into those sort of old school Chaplin or Buster Keaton, this is honestly the next generation of that, and highly recommended. It's just great, so good, so funny, it's hilarious. Cool, and that will be coming out on August 20, the Tati box set, and they'll be available to pre-order on Madman's site. Cool.
Right. I love how they've got free postage on their website, by the way. They've got rid of the postage fees, which is always good.
Postage be gone. Yeah, I just noticed that. That's it's pretty big because most distributors, even JB Hi-Fi Online, they still charge about $2 for postage, no matter where you live. So it's good to see. One other thing in August they're releasing is going to be the Jim Jarmusch film Only Lovers Left Alive, which will be coming out, which is a vampire film done Jarmusch style. So that's coming out on Blu-ray from Madman late August as well. So it's a pretty packed month for Madman in general. Anything else you have to mention, Glenn, at all? Or just I think.
No, nothing from me. Just a great mixed bag of things coming out in August. I'm sure there's something in there for everyone. So,
because that's what I was going to mention. There's just the thing you'll love about Madman is just their catering towards crowds. Like, I mean, you've got it's just such a varied selection. I mean, you've got something like Enemy sitting next to the Hitchcock box set. Like, it's just catering towards different crowds. The 60 sci-fi shows to new anime straight out of Japan. It's just an amazing catalog of releases. So we're going to post it on the podcast. I'm going to post all the links of the movies we spoke about and TV shows, so check them out by all means. Obviously, support Madman because they're doing an incredible job with obviously Anime Lab, which is free service for streaming, and their releases coming out for collectors and the collectors market in Australia is just highly impressive. And as you know, like Glenn and myself, we're quite the collecting type. This is right up our alley. Cool. I think that's about it. Is there anything else? That was just our mid-weekly show. Very brief. Obviously, our main shows go for about an hour to 2, but we thought we'd just dedicate this mid-weekly show just to Madman because we're just so impressed with the work that they're doing.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. So hopefully next episode we'll see what we'll be doing. Hopefully we'll be covering. We're still got a few ideas on what's going to be next. Obviously news we always cover, and hopefully we might be doing a Lovecraft inspired episode.
Sounds good. I'll be there for that one.
For your Lovecraft goodness.
Yeah.
Anything else, Glenn, you want to mention in the world of pop culture? Or
no, that's all.
That's it? Cool.
That's it.
Hope you enjoyed, and obviously our episodes are now on iTunes, so you can download them, and I'll put them up on the site so you can have a listen, and any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Have a good week.